Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be diving into Chapter 2, The Fallen. We're going to get into some descriptions of the enemy types that we face here in Destiny 2, under the enemy race of the Fallen. And we're going to pull my cat up to listen to story time as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to stop this music. Have a sit there, cat, and gather round for story time. On to Chapter 2, The Fallen. We have butchers at our gates, four-armed and eager for slaughter. The Fallen are ruthless scavengers, brutal and uncaring. They arrived on their massive catches in the wake of the collapse to loot and pillage our devastated worlds. There are hints of ancient nobility to the Fallen, the scars of lost grandeur. The kells of their shattered houses will still claim to be royalty, but they leave only grief and wreckage in their wake. And there's some artwork for you of some dregs coming on in. Reese, I guess that's pronounced. Dreams of Alpha Lupi. This world is rich with family. You pause to rest. Life is a balm. You must cherish it where you find it. You do not mean to stay, but longing and kinship forestalls your departure, and time again. These little gardeners are such careful stewards of fragility. They sing songs of disasters averted and loved ones lost. They fashion heavy elements combed from the bones of old stars into objects of peace and beauty. You must force yourself to be cruel. Your presence is portent. From Fallen Ground. I am quiet, I am not here. The Fallen cannot see me, they cannot know me. I am not a shadow, but I move along. Sorry, I looked away for a second, I'm going to start that. I am not a shadow, but I move among them, silent, deliberate of motion and intent as when I entered their hollow 1 month prior. I use the light of day to mask my own, because the forest here is barren. It's a dead place, to and fro, a constant buzz as the scavengers go about the business of stripping this world of its old glories. And I watch, I learn, I record and preserve. Their every moment is my obsession. I hang on their every word, even though I am not versed in their nightmare tongue, but others are, and they will decipher it. They will find the secret hidden within. Secrets are like weapons, and I am an instrument of their unmaking. They are enemy, they are cruel, and I will learn and share, and they will be undone. What is that shouting? I am deep now, no telling how far in. I have tracked each meter, mapped every path, but this maze is ever winding, and their cheers now echo, violent with joy, and I hesitate to investigate as I am entering unknown corridors thick with security. Yes, this is a special place, a holy place, a mechanized place, and the shouts merge with screams and the grinding of gears, and the joy joins with pain. There is suffering here, punishment, a ritual. I must know so we may know, and I move slow, careful, must not be seen, cannot be detected. Meter by meter, anywhere where cover is provided, quick and with purpose whenever exposed. I make my way, leaving other avenues unexplored. The cheers must be understood, but they eventually die, replaced by the harmony of the pirates' busy days and nights. Oh my, how they never rest. Or rather, when they rest, others continue the work, prepping scavenger sorties, sifting through spoils, readying their fleet, their weapons, their worship. In manner in which they revere the machines, I should feel safe here. I should be among their gods. Am I a machine? I don't know. I don't know anything. Their worship is not so simple. With the cacophony, that's an interesting word. Cacophony of excitement no longer echoing, I slow my pace but remain vigilant in my efforts to locate its origin. It is weeks before now. A ceremony has just ended, and I am sending out a recollection of what I have seen, because I am seen. These are my final moments, of this I am sure. The ceremony is combat, ritual, and fury. It is a pit and arena where the lesser and unworthy must prove their value or suffer and die. Oh, how they fight dirty. Oh, how they fight to survive or to thrive. In this pit, before the eyes of an Archon named Elixni may redeem themselves. Shamed Elixni may redeem themselves. Lesser pirates may improve their station. A dreg to a vandal to a captain to. This is their forge, their place of judgment, their trial before their betters. This is what we are up against. Kill or die, thrive or perish. They have no use for the weak, and they watch and cheer and scream as their Archon looks on. But I have become careless. The fervor became a distraction, and now the Archon's eyes have found me, and I am too deep to run, and I think he is smiling. The last frantic transmissions of Ren, a brave ghost of the spectral network. Tell me more of your crucible, how you fight each other in the name of the great machine. Sorry, that was my Varix the Loyal impersonation. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic occasionally on my way to show you guys the artwork of this book. It's fantastic. But shall we carry on? So here's even better a reason for me to move my mic so I don't consistently hit you, because we have the Dreg and the Shank here. As if you've played the game, you've probably seen them, but Dreg, don't underestimate a cutthroat or you'll get your throat cut. Dregs cling to the lowest rung of fallen society. Docked of their lower arms in a ritual of humiliation and obedience, dregs seek to prove their worth. Only a few will survive to gain promotion and regrow their limbs. Their suicidal bravery is fueled by ambition and shame. The Shank. Death flies on tarnished wings. Shanks are the bulldogs of the fallen. Small and tough enough to go where dregs won't fit, they scout, keep watch, and patrol. Fallen walkers deploy Shanks from internal bays for tactical support and field repairs. You actually don't see that, I don't think, in-game anymore, but I think it honestly was a thing. I wanted to say like in Destiny 1 there was something to do with that. The Vandal and the Captain. Vandal. You could drown the city in the blood they've spilt. Soldiers, brawlers, assassins, and scouts, Vandals are the seasoned regulars who fill out the skilled roles within a fallen crew. Whether from distance or up close and personal, they are seasoned, efficient killers, with an arsenal of weaponry and tech to match their bloodlust. Captain. Waves of them smashed against our walls, hissing and wailing, but it was the one who stood beyond them, silent and scenting the air that froze the blood in our veins. Having clawed and knifed his way to the top, scattering bodies and limbs in his wake, the captain is the strongest and most ferocious member of the crew he musters around himself. His ration of ether is the largest, his blades the sharpest, his guns the finest. Upon his shoulders hangs the flag of his house, if he swears loyalty to any. For his crew, the slightest hesitation to comply earns a slash from his sword. Defiance results in immediate amputation if he is in a good mood, or death if he is not. The Walkers and the Servitors. Fallen Walkers are mobile gun platforms deployed in offensive and defensive roles alike. Though their insect-like design gives them an eerie, almost lifelike quality, these heavily armored monstrosities are purely robotic. Their advanced tracking systems can account for multiple targets as their forward repeaters and massive guns sweep the battlefield for threats. Mine dispensers provide close defense against dismounted infantry, and onboard Shank Foundry produces armed repair drones. Walkers are immediate and deadly threats, having ended the light of countless guardians. The Fallen do not hesitate to deploy them to provide overwatch for their salvage and extraction crews. Walkers are also commonly used as blocking forces to guard key Fallen assets. At the Battle of Twilight Gap, Walkers engaged in a thunderous artillery duel with the city's gun positions. The collected wisdom of battle-hardened guardians suggests Walkers can be beaten by focusing fire on the legs, overloading the Walker and rendering its armor core briefly vulnerable. When the Walker stumbles, Guardians should focus all available firepower on the exposed components beneath the neck plating. Some externally mounted weapons can also be disabled with precise fire. There you go, tips and tricks within the lore. Who knew? Servitor. A floating light, a sleepless eye, their hope, their faith, their sustenance. Servitors are living relics of the once mighty fallen civilization. Packed with ultra-sophisticated machinery, they process matter and energy into the ether that the fallen depend on for life. In battle, they support the fallen with defensive systems and their own powerful energy weapons. Outside, they anchor fallen comms and provide vital technological acumen. Servitors have complex relationships with each other and with their fallen crews. Servitors are attached to a prime, a massive servitor which exists in unclear symbiosis with a fallen archon. The archon conveys the Kel's wishes to the prime servitor and exerts some measure of control. Recent developments suggest that prime servitors are more than a focus of worship and logistical activity. They may play a key role in fallen starflight. Okay, so I actually didn't know that last little part there. Before him, foes will flee or fall, but he will heal the houses, make them whole. From the prophecy, House of Rain. And we go into the great houses here of the fallen. House of Devils. The devils take whatever nature has yet to claim. Master Rahul. These are the scourge of the city, the shadow below our walls. This is the house that led the battle at the Twilight Gap, the house we tell our children about to frighten them into behaving. The House of Devils have now devoted great strength to pillaging the Cosmodrome in Old Russia, hunting for something buried below. If they are not held in check, whatever they find might prove the city's undoing. House of Winter. Their greed is as much a threat as their blades. Commander Zvala. I apologize for the interruption there. The fallen House of Winter, led by the ruthless Kel Draxus, have been found operating in and around the Ishtar Sink on Venus. Their interests there seem directed at the ruins of the Academy along the shattered coast, but there are concerns that their focus may in actuality be directed elsewhere, towards the ominous citadel that resides like a warning above the waking ruins. The House of Kings. Another great house hides among us, like Ray. The colors of the House of Kings are rarely seen. They act with brutal contempt as if they hold their rivals, other fallen and city alike, in disdain. We have yet to grasp the full measure of their strength. House of Exile. They live among the hive. Of course they're crazy. Kate 6. There is more than a whiff of desolation about these fallen. Their ranks are swollen with dregs, their rags threadbare. Perhaps this is a new house, gathered from the outcasts, malcontents, and disgraced castaways of the others, galvanized by pride or hate or the desire for freedom. Be watchful. If this is true, they will surely be hungry to secure their position, and that may drive them to bold action. And that is the end of part 1 and the end of chapter 2. The next part 2 is Resilience. And it goes a little bit more into the Fallen and I believe the Battle of Six Fronts and some more. Actually, this next chapter is pretty slim. So this is a continuation of the Grimoire Anthology Volume 2 reading by yours truly, Swetina. Making some small improvements, hopefully video to video, and I hope that they come off. This reading felt a little bit more, what's the word, efficient or something. Though I made some mistakes, I'm trying not to correct them too much. Like I've said in previous videos, when I read these, I just jump into it. I don't go through and do practice readings. This is basically what you see is what you get on these readings. I woke up about an hour ago, had some breakfast, and so my voice isn't completely warmed up. And, some minor indigestion in between words sometimes, so I apologize for that. But thank you for sticking through. Any feedback, please leave it below. And as always, stay safe out there.